everybody, it's Brooke with The Buttered Home. Welcome to Messy Kitchen Monday. I had to think about what day it was. This is the third live that I've done in like 5 days, so I had to keep it straight. Anyway, if you're new to The Buttered Home, you meet me here every Monday night at 7:30, and I cook live, sorta. I usually have what we're prepping already made so that I can show you the end result, so that you don't have to sit here and watch me kind of shuffle around in my messy kitchen while we wait on it to cook. But we do go over the ins and outs of the recipes of some fine Southern cooking. I've really enjoyed this month. Every month has a theme, and this month we're doing vegetables. I get geared up around April for fresh vegetables. Now, I know they're still kind of hard to find, but I'm planting my garden and I'm trying to decide what I'm going to plant, because I always plant on Good Friday or Easter weekend. No sooner than Good Friday, to try to circumvent any kind of Easter cold snap, which we're having today and going to have again on Saturday. So I actually may plant on Easter this year. I know, it's Sunday, not supposed to do anything like that, but I'll be referring to my almanac to make sure that what are the best days between Friday and Sunday. Don't want to expose my baby plants to any kind of frost, which I think I'll be fine, but nonetheless, I have to check the weather probably about Wednesday. So, with that being said, April always inspires me to think about different types of fresh produce that I like and veggie sides. So if you've been with us the last couple of weeks, you've seen that we have done some beautiful collard greens in our Instant Pot. And then last week, we did a squash casserole. And it is so good. And that's kind of a different, more heavy way to make your vegetables. And squash can be found virtually all year round. So it's a good way to use hothouse squash when you don't have access to fresh squash. Fresh squash is always better in the summer, but if you need a good vegetable side, the squash casserole is a good way to use those hothouse squash. I cannot talk. It's been a long day. But tonight, we're doing a very, very special recipe. I love roasting any kind of vegetable. Most of the vegetables that you'll see me cook here at The Buttered Home are going to be roasted, because when you roast the vegetable, it changes the vegetable completely. So tonight what we're doing is a crispy roasted potato with Old Bay seasoning. Now, one of the other things that I love about spring as it gets warmer is it reminds me of summer. And for me, living 2 hours from the Gulf of Mexico, one of the biggest summer things that I look forward to is the beach and fresh seafood. So when you can't always get fresh seafood, you can get Old Bay seasoning and use it in other ways. And this recipe is a great way for you to use this wonderful summer spice blend that I consider it's a summer spice blend. It's actually a spring one too, because a lot of people use it whenever they do crawfish boils, in a good side of just potatoes, roasted potatoes. How simple can that be? Raise your hand if you have potatoes in your pantry or somewhere right now. You've got potatoes. I know I keep them. Most people keep them. I try to use them before they start to get kind of soft and start growing new potatoes. So this is an easy way to use those potatoes that you don't have earmarked for something else. And these are the crispy Old Bay potatoes. So, and they're cooked in the oven, they're not fried, so they're better for you. So we're gonna move the camera and I'm gonna get started, because it's a really simple recipe. It's not gonna take a lot of time. And as usual, it'll be on the blog later this week. So if you want the full recipe, you can get it there at thebutteredhome.com. So let me move my camera. Okay, how are we looking? And I have a lightly greased sheet pan here. And we have some chopped red onion. And we're just gonna put that on our sheet pan. And of course you can do this in a bowl, but there's really no need to because you can mix everything together. It's only two components really, and that's the onions and the potatoes. All right, so I'm just gonna set that aside. And I have whole red potatoes. And I have boiled these in my Instant Pot for 10 minutes whole with a little bit of salted water. And we are just going to cut them and cube them into small portions. Now, one thing, no matter how you boil your potatoes, let them cool before you do this. Because nobody wants to play a literal game of hot potato. Trust me, you might burn your fingertips off. So we're just gonna take these and we're going to dice them into small bite-sized pieces, skins and all. Because let me tell you what happens to the skins. The skins get, and I'm just spreading my onion out. I brought it over here so you could see me. The skins get crispy and crunchy, and they soak up the olive oil and the seasonings of the Old Bay, and they just add something special to it. So if you haven't tried doing roasted potatoes with the skins on, I urge you to try it and use this recipe because this is a good one to test it out with. And I'll move it over so you can see what I'm doing. And when you cut them like this, already boiled, it's kind of a messy job. So make sure that you have access to wash your hands because they get kind of sticky. We're just tossing those right on top of the bed of onions. And the onions all but disappear in this. And the ones that do cook get all crispy and nice too. And it's almost like having just a little bit of French fried onion in with your potatoes. And this side is so easy. But the Old Bay seasoning just makes it taste like summer to me. So you can have summer anytime with a simple side of potatoes. And I have to tell a little story. Last summer, Tanner found something on Pinterest that she was going to try to grow her own potatoes. So she took a microwave sweet potato and she cut it in half and she fixed it up to root in the windowsill. And she did a couple of them, but the main ones that she did that it actually worked with were those microwave sweet potatoes. She got them to do what she needed them to do and she planted them in one of my garden boxes. And y'all, she thought they were dead. So she went out there to clean out the vines from the garden box and pulled up, how many potatoes?
The first time I pulled out 8, the second time another 7, and one of those 7 I think ended up being like a 3-pound sweet potato.
It was this big, no lie. So she is a champion sweet potato gardener. So if you have any questions about hair or fashion or makeup or growing your own sweet potatoes, you want to talk to my oldest daughter, Tanner. She's got a lot to add to her resume. Alright, so now we got all those cut up, and of course you want to try to put them on there in as close to a single layer as you can. But you're going to stir them halfway through cooking time, so it really doesn't matter. But the closer to a single layer you can get, the crispier they will be. You just wash up. And now these go in a 425 oven. For about 30 minutes. And like I said, you're gonna cook them halfway through cooking time. But we're not done yet. We're gonna drizzle them with a little olive oil, probably about 2 tablespoons. And then we are going to salt them. And you control how much salt you use. Then we're going to pepper them. And the other secret ingredient that makes them crispy and yummy is powdered or store-bought Parmesan cheese. And just a little bit, this just creates kind of a little layer on the potatoes. And y'all, they'd be fine just like this. Just like this, they would be great and wonderful. And they would be perfect. So what I'm doing now is I'm just kind of stirring them just a little bit so that they can get some of the oil. And then we're gonna put on the Old Bay seasoning. And the reason why I did that is because I wanted to make sure that I got all of the oil coated on the potatoes so that when we stir them again, then every piece has got some of that Old Bay seasoning on them, because they're Old Bay potatoes, so you want them to have that. Now, spread them back out in a single layer, and then you're going to put them in that 425-degree oven for about 15 minutes. Then you're going to carefully take them out, and you're going to stir them again. And then you're going to cook them for 15 more minutes. And this is what you get. They are crispy. They are yummy. They have a good little char on them. The onion all but disappears, and it just kind of melts in the potato. But the potato is got that crispy outside, and the cheese kind of disappears into that crust, and y'all, they are wonderful. I tend to garnish them with, I like to garnish them with parsley, and certainly if you have fresh parsley, you can use that, but I don't have fresh parsley, I have dried, so that's what I use. So these are crispy oven roasted Old Bay potatoes, and there is no way that I can tell you how good they are until you taste them. They're pretty, and they're crunchy, and they're yummy, but you're just gonna have to trust me. You're going to have to try them for yourself to believe me. So I'm gonna bring the camera back up so you can see the messy kitchen and get back with you. And just like always, if you want this recipe, plus many great other vegetable recipes that we've been doing for the month, you can go to thebutteredhome.com, and are they good? My main helper here, Tanner, is sitting here without a fork, eating the potatoes. She can't talk, so that's a good sign, I guess. Anyhow, what I was saying, you can go to thebutteredhome.com. Later in the week, you'll be able to get this recipe, as well as many others. We have a lot of really fun, exciting things coming up for the summer. I'll tell you just a little bit about what we've got. Memorial Day kicks off the holiday season. Barbecues, all that good stuff. So if you're like me, I don't do a lot of grilling. I'm in charge of the side dishes. Big D does all the grilling. So I'm in charge of coming up with something that's almost as exciting as what he's got on the grill. And I'm going to share with you some really great recipes in May for sides for your barbecue. Some that are obvious, but that are really good tried and true recipes, and some that are, you would think, obvious, but they have just a little bit of something better included in them. June, we've got big plans for June and July and August, And we hope that you've enjoyed the Buttered Home and enjoy Messy Kitchen Monday, and come back and join us every Monday night because we have lots of great things planned and we're not done yet. I got a really good vegetable for you next week and a really good, easy recipe for a side dish for a vegetable to close out the month of April, but that has a surprising twist that once you do it, you'll never be able to live without it. So, from the Buttered Home to your home. Oh, and we'll be back Thursday night. We're meal prepping for our busy gals and our ball moms on Thursday night, and we got a great recipe that you can take to the ballpark with you too, and it's a little fun. So, we will see y'all on Thursday night and back with us again on Monday for our next to last vegetable recipe. From the Buttered Home to your home. Bye.